Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Wednesday, the 22nd day of August. Here we go. Today, a halacha about brachos when borei minim zonos type of things are involved, like wheat, oats, and let me get specific. When you are going to eat something like Cheerios, Cheerios have some grains inside of them, and because the grains are quite prominent in the mixture there, we definitely make a borei minim zonos on things like Cheerios because those grains and oats that are in there have been fashioned into some kind of pretzel, cake, cookie type of thing, the texture of the Cheerio there, and that turns it into a borei minim zonos type of thing. Sometimes even when the wheat or the oats or the thing like that are not the majority of what's in there, they still are very significant. Borei minim zonos, I should say wheat and grains and those types of things, when mixed into a thing like a pretzel, cookie, or stuff like that, they are considered so prominent that they often sway the bracha over to be like them, and therefore most things that have somewhere up near the front of the ingredients, near, well, they're in there for the taste, and the taste of the wheat, the grain, the oats, or the whatever is quite noticeable, then that will sway the bracha in their direction. And that's why, although I don't really know how much is the majority inside of a Cheerio, how much is of it is grains, oats, or whatever, but things like wheat and grains and oats are so prominent that even when they're not the majority of what's there, they still sway the bracha over to themselves. Okay, that's why cookies, pretzels, and things like that get a borei minim zonos. There are times when sometimes there's a tiny bit of wheat in something and it's not in there for taste. It's just in there for the purposes of binding the thing together. In those small circumstances, then the bracha would not necessarily sway over to being a borei minim zonos just because it has a tiny amount of wheat in there, because we only do that when the wheat is the thing you're eating and it's prominent in the eating experience and stuff like that. That's not what happens sometimes in those exceptional cases when the wheat is in there just to help bind the thing together. I won't be able to give you specific examples. It'll always vary example to example. But if you suspect that you're eating an item, especially if you know that you eat it repeatedly, where wheat is somewhere in the ingredients but way down the list and it doesn't seem to be the taste thing in the food at all, you should be contacting a rabbi on things like that. A lot of the big Jewish cities have rabbis where you can call, at least during the business hours, and ask them the specifics of brachas. Don't just go around assuming, well, I'm not sure what the bracha is, so I'll just make a shahakal. You're always supposed to check wherever possible and only use the bracha of shahakal as the catch-all when you absolutely don't have an answer and can't get an answer. Then shahakal, yes, would suffice for being the bracha on many different things. But you don't just, out of laziness, make a shahakal whenever you don't know what to do. When you don't know what to do, you ask a rabbi, I'm eating this interesting food, there's wheat in there, I think it's borei minim zonos, but there's a very small amount of it, so maybe it's just the binder. What's the bracha? And the rabbi hopefully will clarify it for you. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.